In furtherance of my promise to speak candidly, it is probably appropriate at this time for me to correct a falsehood concerning the departure of some of our businesses to other countries, like Switzerland and Ireland. The falsehood is that they have been motivated by the need for a more stable political environment, or that this government is running them away. The fact is that many of them have simply sought what they believe is a more predictable tax environment. What do we mean by that? A good case in point is Tyco. Tyco moved to Switzerland, an independent country with transparent tax treaties already in place that allow Tyco to project its tax responsibilities for years to come. These tax provisions will not be changed, irrespective of what a U.S. Congress might do. They did not move away from Bermuda to one of our competing overseas territories, who are in the same boat as we are, and can potentially be negatively impacted by the whims of a U.S. Congress. We all know that Bermuda and other overseas territories have been threatened by anticipated changes in the U.S. tax laws. While all the stakeholders are working around the clock to make sure that we are not harmed by any changes in U.S. tax laws, a few companies have chosen not to take the chance. Even though it is more costly in the short run, they have determined that the predictable tax exposure of a Switzerland or an Ireland is better for them than the perceived threat of unfavorable U.S. taxation. Your government understands the significance of this, and we will continue our unrelenting efforts against enactment of legislation that would be harmful to our economy. A few weeks ago, we were in Washington, D.C. to open the new Bermuda office. We have a great working relationship with the White House and Capitol Hill. With our new office, we will step up our efforts even more to convince the United States of our value and of the negative consequences that the U.S. itself will incur with unfavorable tax treatment of insurance and other companies located in places like Bermuda. We met with several congressional lawmakers, and we also met with the Attorney General, Eric Holder. Maintaining our level of international business was not our only goal. Government has been working on at least 2 initiatives with the new Obama administration that would have a tremendous positive impact on Bermuda. We want Bermuda to be a beneficiary of one of the U.S. Coast Guard programs, where as a partner country, we would be provided with high-speed interceptor boats, special communication equipment, and more importantly, training of Bermudian public safety officers in drug interdiction and maritime law enforcement. We're also redoubling our efforts to try to persuade the U.S. government to reopen and renegotiate the cleanup of Morgan's Point. We will keep you apprised of our progress. On another front, we are committed to working with the U.S. State Department to get relief from what Bermudians call the stop list. We believe that it is unfair and unjust for someone who committed a minor criminal offense 20 years ago to be prevented from traveling to the U.S. or to have to undergo the humiliating experience of being stopped and detained. We understand clearly that these laws affect people all over the world. They were not just written for Bermuda. But your government will be aggressive in seeking innovative solutions to prevent young people from ever getting on the so-called stop list. We shall also work on behalf of older people who have long since paid their debt to society and deserve to be able to freely travel. Meanwhile, everyone in this community should be aware of government's commitment to fight crime. The high levels of antisocial behavior we have seen in recent times have got to stop. So addressing the misdirection of some of our young people and the trend towards gun crime are among our greatest priorities as we look ahead. I now speak for Cabinet and all of government when I state that we are deeply frustrated with the current approach to tackling crime. Constitutionally, we are hamstrung. We control the purse strings, but we have little or no say in how the fight is managed. That is why we took the opportunity in London as recently as a couple of weeks ago to leave the UK government in no doubt that the people of Bermuda need operational control of the Bermuda Police Service. Increasing criminal activity threatens the very social and economic fabric of our island, and it must stop. We need solutions now, and we are going to find them. On another note, tonight, you will be pleased to know that government is delivering on our promise for public access to information, or PATI, legislation. I am elated to inform you that a draft PATI bill is now in the public domain for consultation and is available on the government's website at www.gov.bm. Tomorrow, hard copies will be delivered to relevant stakeholders, covered by a letter from me inviting feedback. And Friday's official gazette, the Bermuda Sun, will feature information on how you can provide us with your views. We are now less than a month away from the convening of Parliament. My hope is that your feedback will be provided in time for us to table this bill in the House during the upcoming parliamentary session. With all of the focus on tourism, international business, and the other issues I've addressed this evening, it is important that I assure you that your government considers the well-being of our people to be equally, if not more important than anything else. We will continue to meet the needs of everyday Bermudians. 1, free and subsidized daycare has been delivered. 2, there are numerous senior citizens enjoying the benefits of future care in spite of what you might hear. We will continue to refine this very worthwhile program for our seniors to ensure that they will always have access to health care during their golden years. 3, on Monday, we unveiled Bermuda's first 24-hour drug treatment facility. We expect that offering intensive drug rehabilitation on the island will help turn around the crippling impact of drugs in our community and go a long way towards curbing drug-related crimes. 4, we are committed to providing shelters for people who are homeless, and further to providing them with the supportive services that they need to fully become productive again. We will continue to encourage entrepreneurial excellence through a vibrant small business development corporation and the creation of economic empowerment zones in key areas around the island. Finally, we will be even more aggressive in finding jobs for Bermudians. We will identify companies who violate immigration and employment laws, and we will force them to stop. We will not allow our fellow Bermudians to fall between the cracks. We've come a long way, and we have a long way to go. As we've experienced challenging times and look forward to exciting times, my message to you with all that we do is that we must come closer together as we forge ahead to what the future holds for us. We need to cease to be motivated by our differences of opinion and start to be driven by our common love for Bermuda. As Premier of this island paradise, I am humbled, I am honored, and I am grateful. I am calling on all who live and love here to use this 400-year hallmark to begin a new paradigm, together focused as one people for one Bermuda. Imagine, we only need to reflect momentarily to conclude that but for the unity of the people who landed on this then isolated island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in 1609, we would not be here today to celebrate this 400th year. And what a fabulous celebration we're having. Let us promise that day by day, year by year, with God as our witness and our guide, we will steadfastly move toward uniting as one people for one Bermuda, emboldened not by our differences, but by our common heritage and our shared hope for a prosperous future. May God bless you and your families this evening. Thank you and good night.